Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by insurance agents Michael Webster and Denise Brown from Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in life and property insurance. Don't take chances with your family's future.
And now, The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Sabrina Turner.
Good morning, Cayman, and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, and the Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Give them a call, 949-6211, and also by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. We continue with our regular segment with RCIPS, which is every second Thursday of the month. It is my pleasure to have as our guest this morning Inspector Mr. Dwayne Jones, Head of the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit of the RCIPS, as well as we'll hear all about his new appointment. And joining him is Ms. Jody-Ann Powery, Police Media Officer of RCIPS, as we talk about the various traffic issues on our roads. Inspector Jones, PC Powery, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. Good morning. And let me do it now publicly. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And for you.
I know, right?
For you. You got your work cut out.
I've been needing your help, right?
Well, it's a pleasure to have you back on, and I'm quite sure for those who are in traffic and actually having you here talking about traffic issues with your new appointment, I'm hopeful that you will have a lot of good things up your sleeve. To bring a fresh approach on how we're going to deal with this, understanding that we all have a role to play when it comes to traffic, but we're seeing constant delays. I mean, right now it's summer, and coming from Red Bay Prospect area, it's no different.
Let me begin by saying good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just get at you.
Good morning, Cayman. Let me start by saying thank you to yourself and Radio Cayman for affording the RCIPS another opportunity to speak to the people of these Cayman Islands.
It's a pleasure.
You're welcome. As the new head of the Traffic and Road Policing Department, I obviously will be taking a holistic view of the various offenses being committed on the street on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And we will be implementing strategies to interact or to combat some of those offenses. Primarily, my focus will be on road safety, right, saving lives and reducing the amount of road fatalities we have on our streets. I can appreciate that, I'm hoping that the public can appreciate that from a police perspective, we'll be out there, we'll be enforcing the law. Whilst I'm cognizant that the enforcement aspect of it is not absolute by any means, obviously I'm hoping that it will be a deterrent in reducing the number of road offenses that are being committed on our streets on a daily basis. The primary intention is to change behaviors on the road, and hopefully through education and road initiatives, then people will be more cognizant of how to maneuver their vehicles on the road, and hopefully will reduce the impact as it relates to road incidences.
Now, I'm quite sure that there may actually be some legislation changes that may be required as well, because that also restricts you sometimes, with the law needing a little bit more teeth, as they so say.
That is so true, but that is beyond me. That is for the legislators. But from an enforcement perspective, obviously, new changes that will assist the police in doing their jobs more effectively would be most welcoming.
Okay. Now, let's talk about some of the works that the RCIPS Traffic and Roads Policing Unit have been doing to improve overall safety on all three islands.
Well, from a police perspective, it comes down to enforcement. And one, we'll be out there doing regular checks to make sure that vehicles our drivers are in sync with the requirements as it relates to the road traffic law, obeying the speed signs, obeying the various signals, that their vehicles are up to requirement. And also we'll be working with various agencies, to ensure that, because at the end of the day, it's all about partnership.
Right.
The RCIPS alone cannot do this. We need to work in collaboration with other agencies to ensure at the end of the day, the end result is what we're looking for. So we'll be working with agencies like planning and commerce planning and infrastructure. We have NRA, we have DVDL. It's all about a partnership, because at the end of the day, we want to ensure that we have safer cars, we have smoother roads, and we want to make sure that the effective signs are there, so that at least motorists can appreciate what they're doing and what they're supposed to do.
Now, how many traffic tickets have been issued by the RCIPS? When you look at, let's give an example, in June last month, targeted operations.
A lot.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but as it relates to tickets that has been issued, we have over 568 tickets that has been issued for that period. But I want to look at it from a broader perspective and to show that as a people, we need to be more cognizant of road usage and at least make a little bit more effort in terms of how we maneuver our vehicles on the road. For the first 6 months, we have just completed 6 months. We're in our 7th month. We have recorded over 1,600 speeding tickets for that period. We have recorded more than 1,500 road accidents. So you can see there is a pattern here as it relates to how people are maneuvering their vehicles on the roadway.
Do you feel it's a lack of education, or the mere fact that my friend and I were talking about this a couple days ago, that our parents and maybe even our grandparents still operating the roads, that there were sometimes when they started just a mile road along 7 Mile Beach, and here we have 2 and 3 lanes, roundabouts that never existed, a few 4 ways. What are we doing to ensure, with all the new changes to the roads, that persons are keep updated so that we can all use? And then you have our country, it's being accommodating to so much other nationalities. Their practices, their behaviors, some of them have never, they admitted, driven before.
Yes. I mean, I can touch on that a little bit, Sabrina. Our website always has tips on there. Safe driving tips is one of the things that we also have there. The NRA on their website have tutorials on how to use the roundabouts, especially the new ones. We've also linked that to our website so that you can see it. Regularly, we share things on our social media to try to get things out there. And one of the plans that we have going forward also is to partner with Radio Cayman to do PSAs to assist the public in maneuvering the roads safely.
I would advocate for even maybe going back to some refreshers driving school, like after so much years. Before you get your license renewed, you would have to go back based on when it was issued.
Anything to make the roadway safer is welcoming. But I just want to expound on the point that my colleague Jody made here. The roads are smoother. The cars are more efficient. Most naturally, as you say, we move from a pathway to a smooth road now.
Yes.
And most naturally, it will be alluring for drivers to speed and to probably maneuver their vehicles and to be experimental, so to speak, on the streets. And you mentioned the point how diverse we are. We are a diverse society. We're a growing society. You have more cars on the road. You have more pedestrian using the roadway. And people are here from various different backgrounds. There are various practices that people are accustomed to from their jurisdiction. And most naturally, it is not that acceptable here.
It is not acceptable here.
So it is not.
We don't want it here.
And as a result of that, the road safety initiative is to bring more awareness. So people can be cognizant that, listen, you might be accustomed to doing things this way in your jurisdiction, but unfortunately, this is the Cayman way, and this is how things needs to be done. Some people, maybe for the first time they have seen a roundabout is when they get to the island.
Right.
So they don't know how to properly negotiate a roundabout. So these are some of the things that you find happening. But I mean, through education and bringing more awareness, we're hopeful that at least we can improve on our road safety issues.
And we all do our part.
And we also have We've partnered with other agencies as well, external agencies who've decided to take on the initiative of bringing awareness to road safety, whether it be the Purple Ribbon Bus service or the Rotary with their Share the Road campaign. And they have a variety of avenues in which they use to share information with the public. And I feel like information is the first step to having a safer roadway.
Now, it has been said that traffic violations, based on the numbers that you've given, continues to grow within the Cayman Islands. Is there, or are you able to tell us about some of the areas that you've seen more increases in? Is it motor vehicle accident? Is it speeding? Is it not obeying the law for using of cell phones, seatbelts? What is it?
There's a frequency of various incidences in terms of violation of the road traffic law that we have been discovering. One is speeding, as you mentioned. Second, we have inconsiderate behavior where people consistently use the cell phone whilst driving. And obviously this and other issues cause or will lead to accidents. We also have DUIs where people normally go out and they enjoy themselves. Or most naturally, we all like to enjoy ourselves, but it must be done in some level of moderation, where people are cognizant that if they had too much to drink, there's a high risk of going behind the vehicle and driving. Everybody now becomes a risk when driving and driving on the roadway. So we have seen some increase in terms of speeding, especially for the month of I just compound that with some stats. For the month of January, we have seen over 266 speeding tickets issued in our islands here, and it keeps increasing by the month. February we had 351, March we had 345. So there's a consistency in terms of the amount of speeders being prosecuted on a daily basis, and some of the areas that you will find a frequency of this is most likely the highways. And as I said before, the roads are
open
smoother,
roads.
so
it's like on I-95.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that we're driving more efficient vehicles now. So sometimes you're inside that vehicle and you're playing your music. Sometimes you're just cruising along the road and you probably
you're in autopilot, not even realizing you're going 60, 70.
But it comes down again to awareness. We have to be cognizant of our surroundings and at all times pay attention to the roadway. And don't wait on the police to be out there. Wait on that signal from the police to pull over, and then you make, officer, I didn't even realize I was speeding.
And when you look at the type cars like the Teslas and these self-driving, I'm quite sure they will actually make their way here as well.
They will.
Are you prepared for those?
Well, as police officers, we have to be prepared for everything, quite frankly. But hopefully by the time they get here, we would be a little bit more advanced in terms of our equipments and our resources within the service, and hopefully we'll be ready to deal with whatever comes along.
Now, if someone is pulled over by a police for a traffic violation, what is the legally required of the driver to provide to the officer?
First, before we even get to the driver, there's a requirement by the officer to be very nice to all road users. And I know my officers, they are very nice, and they will continue to be nice to road users. However, as drivers, we have to be cognizant that there's a requirement. If you are pulled over by the police, then obviously, depending on what the officer pulled you over for, they will explain why you were pulled over, and they will ask for certain documentations. The most frequent ones are, let's say, for instance, the officer pull you over for he suspect that your vehicle is heavily tinted. They will pull over. They will explain why the reason for pulling you over. Then they will ask for certain documentations like your driver's license, your registration, vehicle, and they will test the vehicle. They will show you the reading from the test, and they will give you some advice or prosecute in the process.
Okay. Now, is discretion allowed by officers when somebody gets pulled over? Like if someone wants to, some people have had experiences where they're like, that particular officer, they're ticket happy. You either get no break with him, you're not going to get no break with her. Is there discretion?
Well, of course, discretion can be used. Obviously, it's up to the officer on the street, because despite the fact that we're here to enforce the law, at the end of the day, it is not absolute in the sense that every time you stop somebody, then you have to issue a ticket. Sometimes we try to educate people as well, because sometimes people just don't know. So you try to educate them in the process as well. But if it's a case where a ticket must be issued, a ticket will be issued. there's a case where some education can be offered in terms of not providing a ticket that day and give you some advice, hopefully you'll do the right thing the next time, then that will be done. So yes, discretion is being used by officers.
And there are some offenses, Sabrina, that I would say doesn't require very much discretion, like somebody parking in a disabled spot.
Oh, yes.
Who doesn't have a disabled tag. That is absolutely uncalled for. And you're taking that spot from somebody who truly needs it. And so that was inconsiderate of you. And everybody should know what a disabled spot looks like. So there are some things that we just don't really try not to ease up on as well, to kind of send a message.
Now, do you also feel that the amount of tickets that has been distributed thus far has had to do with the police presence in certain areas? Because for a long time we've been hearing traffic officers were non-existent, and then people were getting away, and now all of a sudden you're everywhere. I saw a video saying that you're coming out of bushes, and but that's a good thing.
It is a good thing in the sense that we're everywhere.
Exactly.
It is a bad thing that we're coming out the bushes because
just with your speeding. No, but this is along roadsides. I was watching the news. Please don't quote me, but I caught it on the tail end. I left my room, and it was some that was saying that you're coming out of the practices was what was questionable. I think that was at the Westgate public meeting.
I do understand what you're saying. By no means it is encouraged for officers to come out of hidden area and out in the street. Obviously, it is a risk to themselves and a risk to other motorists. Mm-hmm. But it is imperative that we do our job and do it fairly and squarely, in the sense that we have to go out there, and if there are violators, if we have to intercept, we intercept. Sometimes it means that we have to protrude ourselves out into the road. Hopefully we do it with the vehicles being at a distance, so at least there will be quite enough time for the driver to acknowledge the presence of the officer and to pull over safely. Because at the end of the day, despite we identifying that the driver might have committed an offense, at the end of the day, it's all about road safety. So we don't want to at least contribute to any additional impact that would cause any inconvenience to other road users.
Now, since your vehicles have those lights that are on, it appears 24 hours of the day, you've seen that has made any impact on the way people conduct themselves? Because sometimes you didn't used to see your cars until you actually turn on the lights, but now you can spot those lights a mile away.
Well, it's all about appearance, and at the end of the day, we are trying to bring awareness to the public. Hopefully, with the lights around, then people will acknowledge that the police are around, and they will slow down, or they will do the right thing. As I said before, it's not all about prosecuting. It's all about
working together
yes. and getting it right.
You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. It is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. Putting our spotlight on the RCIPS, this happens every second Thursday of the month as we continue with our regular segments, having them on board today. Our main topic is traffic issues. When we come back, we'll talk about other offenses and the importance of public awareness campaigns. Also, when persons are operating motor vehicles and carrying loads, there is safety that comes along with that, but you got to keep it locked to Business Buzz for more on this when we come back.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Summer means sunscreen, a lot of it. But this year, you can make the reef-friendly choice in sunscreen. At Healthcare Pharmacy in Governors Square and Grand Harbor, you can find Ocean Potion and Australian Gold Botanical Sunscreen. Ocean Potion is reef-friendly, oxybenzone-free, antioxidant-enriched, and contains no added parabens. Australian Gold is also phthalate-free, hypoallergenic, and was not tested on animals. So make the right choice in sunscreen this summer with Healthcare Pharmacy, Governors Square and Grand Harbor.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We keep the spotlight on the RCIPS, and our main topic is traffic issues. Our guest is Inspector Dwayne Jones, head of the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit, and we got Miss Jody Ann Powery, Police Media Officer, Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. Let's go straight into other offences. When it comes to other traffic offences, such as carrying unsafe loads or passengers, and you know, we mentioned the parking in disabled spots, but looking back at there's been an incident where I think a gentleman fell off the back of a vehicle.
Yes, that happened a few weeks ago in the Eastern Districts. Mm-hmm. He was traveling on the back of a vehicle and tried to exit the vehicle, I think, before the vehicle had come to a stop, or at least that's what the report was. And he actually died. In no way, shape, or form should truck drivers, and by truck drivers I mean pickup trucks or any kind of vehicle, that people should be traveling on the back of trucks. It is unsafe. There's no seatbelts in the back there, mm-hmm. first of all, so it is illegal. And passengers on the back of trucks are absolutely a no-no. I've seen children traveling on the back of trucks, and I understand back in the day this would have been an acceptable thing, especially if you're going to the beach or that kind of stuff. It's summer, but the use of the road has changed, mm-hmm. and the roadway itself has changed, and we now have a need to protect our lives on the roadway, and so that is an absolute no-no.
And carrying of unsafe goods, loads, what advice would you give to those who may be exporting debris or tree cuttings or even building materials? I
know I just took over leadership of the traffic department, but since I've been there, we have got quite a few reports in relation to unsafe loads, people not properly protecting or signaling in the sense of having when you're carrying loads, you're supposed to have that red flag behind the vehicle, mm-hmm, to make mm-hmm, awareness mm-hmm. to other road users that at least there's object protruding on the vehicles. We have got quite a few reports in regards to that. We'll be looking into it. We'll be targeting some of these drivers. It's all about road safety. At the end of the day, we have to incorporate all aspect of traffic violation, because we can't allow the small things to get away. And if you allow the small things to get away, obviously it will fester into big things. Because right now we are experiencing heavy equipments transporting load from one location to another, and they're not properly protected. Mm-hmm. And you have, as a result of that, you have huge spillage on the roadway. And obviously some of those objects coming from the vehicle can cause serious injuries to individual or cause serious damage to another vehicle. Mm-hmm. So therefore, these are some of the things that we'll be targeting, quite frankly. And even this morning, I have my unit out there. We have initiated an operation on the eastern side because we have got some huge complaint regarding these heavy equipments. And this morning, the units are out there conducting an operation. I'll be joining them shortly after I leave here.
Excellent. And we hope on the second Thursday of next month we'll get an update on that, which means for you're back. Now, how important is it to work with other partners in public awareness campaigns to get the message out to the public about road safety and other?
Well, road safety, it's everybody's business. It's the business of the police to ensure that the road is being used in a safe manner and within the law. But it's also the business of all the road users to make sure that they're maneuvering the roads in a way that is safe for themselves and safe for others. And so we like to partner with other agencies, whether it be internal agencies like the DVDL or the NRA, to try to put together a campaign to educate people. In the past, we've had the street skills campaign, and that I think is something that we'll be working towards again in the coming months. But outside of that as well, like I mentioned before, we have done partnership, and we're happy to partner in any way that we can with other agencies, such as the Rotary Club. When they did their Share the Road campaign, we've partnered with them to do PSAs and went on media appearances with them just to share a little bit of what's going on, what are trends that we're seeing, so that people know, one, what to look out for, and two, what to stop doing.
Now it is summer and kids are out. And you will see maybe them out on their roads with their, I don't even know if pocket rockets are even being used anymore. But, I mean, we're used to hear a lot about the dirt bikes and them actually breaking the law. What advice would you give to those who may find themselves at home just hanging for the summer holidays, don't have a summer job, and just trying to get rid of some of that energy?
As parents, I know we want the best for our children. And as such, we will afford them like the dirt bikes and the little pedal cycles to ensure that during the summer break, as you say, they could get rid of some of that stored energy. But in everything we do, safety is important. We can't afford for them to be on the roadway. They obviously can enjoy their bikes on private properties or in the parks or so, but having them on the roadway is very dangerous. And as such, we will, or I'm imploring to parents to please ensure that their children are safe and they stay away from the roadway, as well as I would advise drivers, if for any reason you should come across these children, because they're young, they have an exploring mind, and they would want to get out on the road and enjoy themselves. Please be careful and try to avoid any form of collision. Call the police in the event that you see them, so we can do the necessary interception, and we can provide good advice to the parents as well in regards to these children. And we have to protect our children.
Right, but you don't want people to think that we're calling the police because we want to get their kids locked up. It's a matter of order.
It's not about
safety.
Safety.
It's not about arrests. Quite frankly, it's all, as you rightfully say, it's about safety. It's about ensuring that they're doing the right thing, of course,
respecting the law.
And road safety.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
And Sabrina, you've mentioned having legislation to assist us with our jobs as well. I just want to put this out there because it's something I feel would be a deterrent. If the police stops you and your vehicle is not registered and it's not licensed, your motorcycle, we have the powers now to seize that vehicle. Okay, so you don't want us to stop you with a non-registered vehicle, because then it becomes ours.
Repeat that.
So we have, the law has now been changed to include that if there is a unregistered motorcycle that is not fit for the roadway, for example, dirt bikes that don't have lights and these kinds of things, they're not registered, no registration, no license plates, we now have the power to seize the vehicle and destroy it.
And there's no option. They can't take you to court for that.
No.
That's signed, sealed, and delivered.
Absolutely.
Okay. There's an importance of why I asked you to repeat it. Because people are not aware sometimes of all of the legislations. And then again, it gets that the police has a vendetta for me when you're only doing your job.
Well, our paramount job is safety. And in order to create that safe environment, sometimes we have to do things like take away the things that are creating the issue.
Good for you. Now, you mentioned that there is an operation for the Eastern Districts, and yes, it's answering the plea from the people that actually commute on these roads with heavy equipment, especially speeding.
Yes.
What do you intend to get from this morning's operation?
Well, twofold. One is enforcement of the law, and two is to provide education as well. Obviously, you will have certain vehicles out there that consistently choose to violate the law, and some drivers refuse to properly have their vehicles roadworthy. Mm-hmm. So obviously the officers, from a police perspective and enforcement perspective, we will enforce the law in that regard. Others, as I said before, you might find individuals who quite frankly just don't know, and it's just a slip up on their part, so to speak. So where it is prudent or necessary, we can provide the requisite advice to those individuals. So hopefully that we can change their behavior and they won't have a reoccurrence of the same incidences. Okay. But it's all about road safety, and at the end of the day, we are trying to create a safer environment for everyone.
Okay. You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. We keep the spotlight on the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, and our main topic is traffic issues. Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Give them a call, 949-6211. And also by Cayman Insurance Centre, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. We're going to take our final break for the morning. When we come back, we'll get some updates on community policing and any other information these representatives may wish to share with us this morning. Keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more when we come back.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Always be prepared and ensure your family is provided for. Cayman Insurance Centre specializes in life, property, motor, health, and liability at the most competitive premiums and affordable rates on island. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 for life insurance, or Denise Brown at 814-7229 for property insurance. Call them today for all your insurance needs.
If your business is over here, but your customers are over here, adding more yellow to your business will bring you both right here. With everyone searching yellows, print, online, and mobile app, getting your business noticed is easier than ever. Book your consultation today at findyellow.com.
What do we love more than summertime? Extra flights between Cayman and Jamaica with Cayman Airways, of course. Cayman Airways has added extra flights weekly for travel between Grand Cayman and Kingston this July and August. Visit family and friends in Jamaica or send for them to visit you in Cayman. But hurry, these extra seats will sell out fast, so book yours today. Remember now, check-in time is 2 hours before departure. Call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or book online at CaymanAirways.com.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz home stretch here this Thursday. Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Centre. I want to thank them publicly for their continued sponsorship, keeping the spotlight and the conversation going with representatives from the RCIPS. That's Inspector Dwayne Jones, head of the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit, and Ms. Jody Ann Powery, Police Media Officer of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. Now, any updates that you'd like to share with us as it relates to community policing and any other pertinent information you'd like to share with our listening audience this morning?
Well, keeping it on the topic of traffic, we had a business watch meeting for the West Bay Road area yesterday, and a lot of the persons in attendance were hotel managers and so on, and they've flagged quite a bit of concerns that they have that like to mention. One of them was pedestrian crossing, persons not using pedestrian crossings correctly. That's one of the things that has been kind of like an issue. I feel like pedestrians don't understand sometimes that they also have a duty on the roadway. When you're using a pedestrian crossing, whether it be the ones with the buttons or the lines on the roads, you press the button, you stop and you wait for the vehicle to acknowledge the fact that the light is on before you walk across the road. And it's the same with the lines on the road. You stop on the line and you wait for the vehicle to stop, because if that vehicle is going in a momentum and is at a distance where it is not safe for them to stop abruptly, then it could be that you're causing a collision. And so pedestrians also have a duty on the roadway, as well as drivers. Another issue that was brought up was cyclists cycling on the wrong side of the road. Cyclists should be going with the flow of traffic and not against it. And the issue that you'll find is that if you have one cyclist going with the flow of traffic and another going against it, you're both on the same side of the road, and that can cause an issue for you. And so please do pay attention to these things. A lot of times it's just things that people didn't know, because maybe they're from a different jurisdictions where things is done differently, but that is the way that it should be done.
Anything to address the modified regular bicycles with now engines? Are they deemed as motorcycles once you modify a regular bicycle and add an engine to it of some sort?
Once you modify that bicycle, as you said, it is no longer a pedal cycle. It is now a motor-driven bicycle. And as such, once it is motor, then obviously it should be registered. However, it does not meet the requirement to be registered under law as a motorcycle. So most naturally, it would be illegal to the adoption in terms of moving it from pedal to motor would be illegal. I have got a few reports in regards to bicycle being now used as motor bicycle.
Yes.
And I want to use this medium to echo to those who have so chosen to adopt their bicycle that, listen, we'll be looking out for you guys. It's wrong. You can't do that. And the law does not make any provision for you to do that. If you're going to do that, you have to do it within a private environment. You cannot do that and use it on the roadway. Because obviously you're now moving much faster.
Right.
And now you become a risk to yourselves and to other motorists on the road.
I can remember back in the day that even a regular pedal bicycle had to be licensed before you could actually do it on the road, and whether that's fallen away or it was removed from the law, maybe that's something that could be considered again, because you have those that have been modified and now you have the electric bikes.
Maybe we need to take it to the legislators.
It's a fine line, because we're on an island, and we want to have that freedom, the long weekends. On a weekend, you and your family go and you take a nice stroll or a ride. But if there's, again, you'll always have those persons that modify it to just push it a little further.
Understood. As I say, we're probing people. And
we're not trying to be bad or to block them. We want to work with everyone, but again, safety. It comes down to safety.
It's all about safety. And the adoption obviously makes the bicycle move much faster.
Yes.
And obviously you becomes a risk, and you are now a risk to other drivers on the road. So if you're going to do it within the private confines of your yard or possibly the park or whatever, but as it relates to the roadway, it is not safe.
Okay. Feel free to recap any main points you'd like to stick with our listening and viewing audience.
I want to touch on the frequency of speeding and MVAs that have been occurred on our road. It is true that most motor vehicle accident, the underlying factor is speed. Our speed contributes heavily to some of these accidents. And whilst from the recorded accidents that we have here in Ireland, whilst majority of them might not be serious, it is we still have those that could consider or is considered to be serious. Some of those actually end up being fatals, and some of those are serious accidents where people are disabled, or you'll find serious injuries occurring from some of those accidents. So I want to use this opportunity to make an appeal to the public. Please, it's all about safety. Please use the roadway in the manner that it is so designed to use. Think about the consequences of it has even have community impact in the sense that you if there's a fatal, then obviously think about the distraught family, the families you leave behind. The series of pain that they will be going through. Sometimes that individual is probably even the financial burden in the homes, and then think about your children not being able to have the normal lifestyle that they would have be with you being around. So in your absence and everything changes within the home. So it is important that we think about the consequences before we take certain actions. And the safer we use the roadway, obviously, the longer we will live.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jodianne. Any closing words?
Absolutely. I have just 2 points to make. Community clinics have been going on. We've done community clinics in West Bay, and we've done them in Bordentown. Georgetown community clinics have started. We did one in the Swamp area and one in the Windsor Park area so far. And then we have the other areas of Georgetown that the dates will be coming out. So I just want to encourage people to stay tuned to our website and our social media pages to get those dates for when they're coming out. Actually, the Bordentown Clinic is where the traffic department was able to get the information about the dump trucks and stuff, and how they're operating on the road and in an unsafe manner, and that's the reason why we have this operation today. And so the clinics have been very, very effective, and we are trying to mitigate the risks that the public concerns have. And the second thing is just to pay attention to our website. The website is www.rcips.ky. We also have a mobile app, and you can get it on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple Store. And
well, the app works.
Yes.
My phone no longer goes off for the Red Bay and Prospect community. It's usually RCIPS. I'm like, okay, yes. But it is a pleasure again.
Thank you.
And for the information shared, we want to wish you continued success in all of your efforts, and we're happy to be in this partnership to give you that vehicle to get the message and definitely educate our community. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our guests have been Inspector Dwayne Jones, head of the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit, and Miss Jodianne Powery, Police Media Officer of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. The next date for the Business Buzz with the RCIPS will be August 8th as we continue with our regular monthly series that will take place every second Thursday of the month. Feel free to join us again on Tuesday for another Business Buzz that is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. Until Tuesday, have a safe and fabulous Thursday.
Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by insurance agents Michael Webster and Denise Brown from Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in life and property insurance. Don't take chances with your family's future.